Hey, what's going on, social media world? Hey, I finally got this thing working good. We ain't got no music, ain't nothing special or spectacular on my page because I don't know how to work none of this stuff. Hey, my name is Tony Clopton. It is an honor and a privilege to be here. My lovely co-host, please introduce yourself.
I am Melissa King, home-based business owner. You see, look, I was doing some professional interviewing today, so I had to go pull out my Gail King, Barbara Walters hair.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I
the
see you've been doing your thing all day long. If you guys have not checked out Melissa with Miss Geo, one of the YouTube phenoms, you guys missed a treat today, but I'm sure Melissa will be able to direct us to how to get to that link. Could you possibly direct us to that information?
yes, just go to Boss Life Online. That is Geo's page, and we did an interview. Actually, I interviewed her on my page today, and she also premiered an interview she did with me last week on her page. So if you go to Boss Life Online, you'll see both. But are you where you sharing this at? Because I can put it in the
I
comment.
put it on my personal page today, and then I'll add it to the YouTube channel later on.
So it's on Facebook.
Yeah,
Okay. Let me find you on here and share you out. But yeah, she had we were talking about staying focused, how to stay focused. Because
yeah.
the hardest part about this business for me is, and it's a personal thing.
Hmm.
I'm consistency. I'm not really good on consistency. I tell you all the time, I go from zero, I'm either zero or I'm at 10. I don't know nothing about four, five, six.
Right.
Either I'm all the way in or I'm all the way out. And if you go in on 10, you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yes, you will. And yes, you can. I totally agree. I totally agree. So I did pick up a lot of hot points from you guys. And I think the greatest thing about our business that you can collaborate with other business owners because we all got some of the same stories and testimonies and trials and tribulations and all of that stuff. So it was refreshing to hear that other people do have the same problems and issues and challenges that we do and how to overcome, right?
Right. I'm always open to hear what somebody else doing to win. Don't tell me what you did to lose. I can do that by myself. Tell me, tell me what you did to succeed. Because
Absolutely.
I'm good on failing. I got that.
Okay, so hey, check this out. So I put something in the title, and I almost can't remember. It's something about this is your year or our year to win. We in a winning season, right? So I wanted to talk to our audience out there a little bit about how to win in this season. And I think one of the most important things that we all have to do is to write it down and make it plain. Having a vision, a plan to do it, a course of action. Would you not
Yeah.
say so, Melissa? Well,
I
that's one of the things that everybody should do.
I agree. And you know what? You said something too when you said write it down. Because there was something else that Gio mentioned today. We so techy now. We doing everything on the computer. Sometimes you just got to pull out a pen and a piece of paper,
Mhm.
put that pen and paper, and write down what you want to do, and then put it somewhere where you can see it all the time
Mhm.
or something. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's like if and I'm so look, like I said, I'm a poster child for procrastination, for
Poster child, like
for getting distracted, for focusing on everything but the right thing.
right, right,
But
right.
I don't know. I'm one of them people too now. I get that. I like that adrenaline type of doing. Like if I got a deadline, I was the one in school. You gotta turn this paper in
Hmm.
2 weeks. I'm gonna wait till the night before and write
Hmm.
the whole 10-page paper. Where I done
Hmm.
had 2 weeks and see, I'm trying to get out of there because I got a young one in there,
Yeah.
and I don't want her to be a procrastinator like me. But
Right.
them genes strong.
Ooh,
Gone.
that that's bad. That's bad. I think you're right, Melissa. I think a lot of times our habits can force us at a young age up to adulthood, and we still do
Mhm.
the same things, and we feel like that's what's working. And we all have to change for the better at some point. We can't be last minute on a lot of stuff, right?
It's so hard to like. I don't. Why is it so hard to keep up bad habits?
I don't
Like
know.
I can keep a bad habit of like that.
Yeah,
When I have a good habit, it's a struggle.
it's a struggle, no
The
doubt. It's a
devil be
struggle, no
in,
doubt.
and you be like, don't worry about that. Yeah, don't worry about that. Go
Yeah,
back to what you usually do. Don't even bother with that. And then I be steady. Like, no, I'm gonna stay focused. I'm
right.
gonna stay focused.
Hey, so
I'm
look,
gonna
check
stay
this
focused.
out. Check this out. So I want to kind of dig deep and try to unfold the layers of how some employees can kind of get discouraged and distracted from actually building wealth, right? Because I mean, think about it. Your job is zapping a lot of your energy and your time from you, right? So who really got time to kind of grow a business, or who really want to grow a business when they ain't got the energy or time to do it, right?
Yeah, and it's like your 9 to 5, and we so used to, like we programmed to do that. It's
Hmm.
like you jump in, you do what you're supposed to do, and it seems like by the time you get done with that, it takes like twice the effort to
Hmm.
do the other one, where you gonna reap the most benefits being an entrepreneur, you know. But it's like we talked about before. A lot of us we just programmed to be employees. You
Hmm.
know, we've been doing it for so long, and then it's safe. It's like, okay, I know I'm gonna go in from this time to this time. I
Hmm.
know I'm gonna get paid on this day. I
Right.
know I'm gonna get this day off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, for an employee like us, for so many years, I just was programmed that this is what I got to do.
Right.
But if you look at your business like something you got to do, you can do the same thing.
Absolutely. And the rewards are a lot more greater. It's almost like we've allowed people to put a price tag, if you will,
Mhm.
on your time. And to me, that is the most deadliest thing to allow someone. We're allowing people to put a price on our abilities. And I think we really got to get out of that mindset
Yeah,
at
because
all costs.
they underpricing us.
Yeah.
Like for everything, you know, I've learned in the employee world, you can work your butt off, but coming from a management background, I know that they only gonna give you so much of a bonus every year or so much of a raise every year. And usually the cap, I mean, if you work so much good, you might get 5%, but usually it's between like 2 and 3%. So
Hmm.
it's like you going in, you're working hard, you're putting all that effort down. They didn't set a price for your time when they pay you hourly. And
Hmm.
then you thinking, if I work hard, and usually my experience has been when you do get that raise, guess what goes up at the same time? The cost of like health insurance, your
Yes.
benefits.
Hmm.
So if you bring home an extra $50 a paycheck,
Right.
you darn near gonna your health benefits gonna go up by $40.
Right. Yeah. So it'll evaporate into thin air, won't it?
Right. It's like a mind thing, because in your mind, you got a raise. But in your wallet,
Yeah.
you
So
ain't
look, so look, I'm gonna dive deeper into home-based business ownership, because I think a lot of people are missing the benefits, and I'm like, we got to continue to educate employees, especially about the benefits of a home-based business, how they can merge it with their
right.
job. What are you losing? People, I've heard a mentor talk about, you can't talk to somebody that makes money about making more money, but you got to talk to them about how they're losing money, and
Right.
then their eyes are open now. So can we talk about what you are losing by not being a home based business owner?
Right. It's almost like it's like you have to kind of walk backwards to really see it. Because I think me and you were talking a couple of weeks ago, and I was telling you I'm always saying I didn't been doing this longer than I've ever done stayed at one company as far
Right.
as a 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back and think about, I joined November 17, 2015, and I started seeing the benefits as far as that first paycheck, bringing that extra $400 home. I started seeing the benefits with the write-offs and everything. So if we had to rewind and go back in time, that's how much money I would have been losing because I wouldn't be getting it. Like I would still be around here trying to, I told you before, my biggest thing when I joined the company was debt elimination. And it seemed like I could never get that snowball going to start eliminating debt. And it's like, it's like if I could just get a little traction, but this always equaled out to this much, and I only had this much left over, and it ain't no extra to pay this off. So, I ain't gonna tell her what my finances would be looking like 8 years later had I not done this. So I can go back and say, I never really did the whole cash flow thing to get a total of how much I cash flow, but even if we say $5,000 a year, that's $40,000 I would have been losing in the last 8 years by not doing this.
Right. So you know what?
I can't go backwards.
Right. So we've had some success stories about people that actually joined this company and for a little bit of nothing. So it's really never about the enrollment fee. We always do promotions during the end of the year and leading up. But people don't realize that a small investment of maybe $40 a month can net you, $5,000-$6,000 a year. If you look at it over a period of time, $40 a month times 12, if you had to pay it up front, and I think some people may need to pay it up front to make it have value. But if you're paying $40 a month and you're being able to increase your cash flow by $500, $600, $700, why would anybody quit, Melissa? I mean, let's say this. People join and they quit. Why would you say somebody would not continue to pay $40 to get an additional $700, $800, or even $1,000 in some cases? And why would they quit? Why would anybody quit?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head, when you were talking about cost, and then you said the value, because people don't understand cost versus value, and if you don't get that, or you don't see the potential value when you first get started, it ain't gonna click. Because all you saying is, look, I'm already paying for this, and this, and y'all want me to pay an extra $40 a month coming out my pocket. All they are looking at is that $40 come down. And like I always say, just for me and my daughter to go get fast food, I end up spending $20. If I go eat out 2 nights in a row, that's the $40 that I pay a month. So you spending that money anyway, whether you want to or not, because groceries then went up, fast food then went up, everything has gone up. So I think a lot of people look more at what's going out versus what's coming in. And then another thing, and we had this to happen. We had somebody to join, and she updated the W-4. She ended up bringing an extra $200 a month home in her paycheck, $100 every pay period.
Right.
She quit because she said she couldn't afford for that $34.95 every month. So automatically I'm like, okay, you bringing home an extra $200, but you quitting because you gotta pay $34.95. It's like sometimes it just don't click.
Yeah.
And I was just like
flabbergasted.
Right. Yeah. How you come back from that?
You know what? I tell you this right here. I think a lot of time, we got away from doing these in-home strategy sessions and meetings and actually sitting in front of people. And I tell you, you said it in the beginning. We got to start writing it down, putting it on paper so people can actually see it, because you can talk to somebody about how it works, but until they actually go through it and really understand it, sometimes people just don't get it. And I want to get back to doing that. So if you got questions, a lot of people don't want to feel like, okay, I don't want nobody to think I'm a dummy or I'm
That was
stupid.
me. That was me.
Yeah, so I get it. That's why I say I don't beat up people that quit, but at the same time, I really want them to get it. But until they come and have an open mind about it, then they won't get it.
And
They,
you
they
know,
just won't get it.
it's just like anything else. Like when I first got started, I didn't really get active until after I went to my first. And I guess you could consider it in home. The meeting Adrian Langham had
Oh yeah,
at her place. So that was my first time actually being in the room with people that was doing this, hearing them talk about what they did. And then, like you said, it's something about that one-on-one contact. And like I was just sitting there listening, and I was like, I can do this. You know,
hmm
never mind the fact that I've been signed up and I've been paying to do this for the last 2 months. And
right.
and it's not like I bought it and just casted it aside. I was
Yeah,
listening to the video, I was watching the videos, listening to the audio and stuff. But it was just something about seeing you and Dre and everybody talk about it. It made it real. Like it's
yeah,
doable.
right. Yeah, I think we all have to when someone comes into an organization or any business, you have to create the environment of learning for one, because our business is about learning and educating. We
Right.
we try to stay away from having to recruit and how to build a business, because the real person that really needs to get it is you. And if you
Right.
don't get it inside of you, then nothing else really matters. I don't care what you say. Jesus himself can come down and deliver this information. But if you're not willing to hear it and listen and dissect and apply it in your life, it ain't gonna matter.
And it's
It
not
ain't gonna
gonna
matter.
it's not gonna and that's why, I think we've had this discussion too. A lot of times people will sign up to do the business just as a support to you, but they're not really actively involved. And it's almost to the point where we've gotten to be like, look, don't do it for me. If that's why you're doing it, I don't even want you to keep paying the monthly payment, because it's not benefiting me to that point. Your $34.95 every month is not keeping my lights on. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So don't
Right.
don't hurt yourself if you're not really interested in what it can do.
hmm
So, and I've done that before. I've bought stuff from people just to support them. This is kind of different though. This is
hmm
not something you want to do just to support people. You want to jump in and learn what it's about, because once you learn how it can help you, and it's like you said, it's not really selling or anything, it's educating.
hmm
So you don't feel like you bothering people when you give them something that can enrich their life.
Right.
Like if I'm bothering you by giving you something that's gonna help you, by all means tell me.
Right.
so,
Yeah.
so I can go bother somebody who want the information. Because everybody ain't ready to receive everything at the same time.
Absolutely. So I was listening to Bishop T.D. Jakes in one of his sermons. He was talking about we have to get rid of this stinking thinking, and he said if you got money to buy an overpriced bag or some overpriced shoes or a different hairstyle, and you're not investing it where you can get a return, then that's on you. So it
Right.
is a mindset that we have to try to help people understand that if you have money and you don't put it in the right place, like investing in yourself knowledge wise and education wise, then you're gonna waste a lot of money. You're gonna waste the resources that God has gifted us to use. And if we're not being good stewards of little money, He's not gonna bless you with a lot.
That's
So
true.
I do believe that if we start educating people on a platform where we helping them understand a little money that you have, I don't care if it is $5 and you're losing it. And if you save that money, put that $5 and invest it or pay off something, then you're winning. So we just got to keep in mind that it's a mindset. If you feel like you need that purse, you're gonna go buy that purse first before you listen to me.
Right.
So we just got to reach out to those that are looking and willing to make a difference financially and just keep educating. That's all we can do.
And I think about something Jim Collier said one time. He was like, "Don't think just because we doing this business, we don't believe in treating ourselves." He was like, "Dude, I like nice stuff." He
Yeah.
said, I do what I need to do with my money so that I can get my stuff without, paying for it 2 or 3 times. Like,
Right.
it ain't nothing wrong with wanting a nice car or buying Jordans, or even if you buying that expensive bag, everybody got their vice. For me,
Yeah.
I like electronic techie stuff. I
Yeah. Me
buy
too.
knowing, I may not even use the stuff, but I see
Yeah.
it and like I be like, I need to get, I
I
need that,
got to get it,
I got to get that.
and it's a write
But
off. I can write it off.
thank you. It's a difference when you doing that and you can write it off. Or like
Yeah.
even with like people that's all into Nike and stuff like that, get your Jordans, but like when you do invest, buy
Buy some Nike.
invest
Buy
in
some Nike
Nike
stock.
stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where every time you buy some, you get paid too, you know.
Right.
And y'all listening to us, we ain't coming to door knowing all this stuff. So don't think because you looking at somebody that didn't realize the word refund meant getting their own money back.
Right.
I learned all this stuff from getting on here and saying it over and over again until I understood it. So, I think sometimes people feel like, well, I don't know enough,
Mm-hmm.
to do it, or I don't make enough money. We got people in the business that work anywhere from McDonald's up to, we got lawyers, doctors, stock people. The range goes from minimum wage all the way up because, it really don't matter. It's not what you make, it's how much you keep. Because
Right.
if you making 50,000 and I'm making 100,000, but you got more money in the bank than me, what that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm not doing something right.
Right.
So I can learn from you, even though you making half the money I make, and I may end up actually getting to keep some because everybody knows. The thing is, the more you make, the more you take. They
Mm-hmm.
take. People don't want to do overtime because they're gonna tax you more. But if you understand the tax game and know how
Mm-hmm.
to work that to your advantage, then it's different when you going in knowing what the results gonna be at the end.
Mm-hmm. That's good. I think a lot of people don't know that there's levels to building wealth. Like it's a combination, and we talk about all of those key components in building wealth. We talk about the taxes. We talk
Right.
about eliminating the debt. We talk about creating an emergency fund and
Right.
investing. And I think a lot of people fail to understand that if your job is your only source of income, it's almost impossible. I say again, almost impossible for you to build wealth with linear pay. We talking about one person, one job with a bunch of bills coming in all the time. We talk about these multiple streams of income where your business could be paying for your car note, your business could be paying for your bag and shoes and vacations. We
Right.
talk about how getting those business deductions puts you on another playing field, another side of the tax system where they win and they don't struggle. So once we continue to educate and put ourselves in that environment with these mentors and
Mhm.
connecting with good, positive, like-minded people,
Yeah.
there's no other place to go but up.
Right.
And that's I just love being a part of this whole system because you got to be in a system because it was a system that got most of us in the situation we in. So
Right.
get on the winning side. I would say plug in. It's a small investment, right?
And
Who
then
you scared to spend $40?
right, and you blowing it anyway on something. And
Almost every day.
so I went to the grocery store today. Supposed to went in there just to get a box of the Texas toast.
Mm,
Now he said she wanted some of that.
mm,
I may have put about 4, 5 more things with it.
ooh,
$75.
mm, mm. I'm
And
like, I'm gonna put that back. Put that back.
then you get home, you get the bags out the car, you put the stuff. I don't know about you, but I put the stuff on the counter, and I'm like, I ain't
Mm.
bought nothing. Oh, the refrigerator still spacious. You know,
Yeah.
for $75, I expect at least one shelf to be full. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
one shelf full.
Mm, mm, mm.
And it's almost like, and everybody had, well, that's just the way it is. Well, you can do something different. And then I've heard people say, well, if all of this information is out there, why we need to start a business, just to do it? It's out there, but are you going to put it in the work to go and research that when you have a company that has, as you always say, created a business in a box, put everything you need in one kit. Yeah, you can go out there and research the information yourself, but are you gonna do it?
Right.
Are you gonna do
really,
it?
let's be honest.
Right. It's almost like, you know, you're gonna go to law school and you're gonna go buy all your books where you can sign up, sign up for something where they give you the condensed version of everything laid out for you. What you gonna do? Because you've been in school forever trying to be a lawyer.
Oh yeah.
And that ain't nothing quick, so you gonna do whatever gonna make it easier for you. Yeah, you can go out and buy all the stuff and read each textbook and all that stuff. But if you can pay a little something and it's already laid out for you, and not only are you minimizing cost, you minimizing time because you ain't got to look all this stuff up.
Right.
It's one spot. Go play
hey, to the people's defense, because you beating up on them pretty good, Melissa. To their defense, we understand that the employee mindset is somebody train you to do what you do every day, and you probably pretty good at it, right? So you can be good at a business because our business come with instructions on a low level, and it's not to dumb it down, but we know for a fact the owners have already understood that the founders know that most employees have a certain mentality to think like an employee, and it's going to be hard to transition to business owner. So everything that we have, it's a block of instructions. You build it to your liking. Whatever you want out of life, how to build your wealth is in the membership. That's why we have so much to talk about, because you can pick and choose pretty much what route you want to take to build your wealth.
Exactly. And everybody's not going to take the same route.
Yeah.
You might decide to go this way and I decide to go that way, but as long as we end up at the same place, isn't that the goal?
That's the goal.
Everybody not gonna have the same route or the same goals, but your ultimate goal is to win.
Absolutely.
So for your definition and my definition of winning, for you it might be a millionaire, where for me it might be 1,000.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
as long as I get there and I'm good, because you hear a lot of people say, I don't want to be rich. I don't have to be rich. I just want to be comfortable. If that's your goal, jump in, do what you need to do to be comfortable. If you decide you done made enough money, slow your efforts down.
I like to know how much is too much. I really wants to know that.
Right. And it's I'm guilty of saying that too. I'm like, I don't have to be filthy rich. My dream, if I ever get the opportunity, is to meet Shaquille O'Neal. So if anybody out there listening can introduce me to Shaq or get this message to Shaq, I much appreciate it. And I used to say all the time, people be like, he a millionaire, you want to work? I said, I'll still go to work.
You still go to work?
It's all good. I don't have to be filthy rich. Just let me be sort of kind of. You know what I'm saying? Let me be all right. Like I ain't got nothing to worry about, all right. So yeah. I mean, everybody don't have the same financial goals, but everybody can get to their financial goals by following, and it's like, I get so mad when people start talking about, well, that ain't for us. We can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, who are we?
Yeah, who are we? I don't know who we are.
And where in all this tax documentation and IRS stuff do they say 48-year-old female's name Melissa King can't have it? I don't think they got me in there.
Right. Absolutely.
So that means I can do it, right?
That's right. Absolutely. You can do it. If you only believe. If you believe, you can.
Right. They didn't say nothing about you can't have no criminal background. They ain't say nothing about you can't never got a speed ticket. They ain't say nothing about you got to be born on this side of the tracks or this side of the track. It's not specific like that. It's like if you want it, go get it.
Oh yeah. No doubt, no doubt. Look, we're approaching 30 minutes. I want to start doing 30-minute segments. So
Okay.
we're approaching the 30 minutes. So if you got anything in closing, because I really want to be able to allow people to get on our 8 o'clock call with the founder of our company, and
Okay.
he's dropping gems all the time, Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So you guys are always welcome to jump on any of our pages to hear the founder of the company. He does a presentation Monday through Friday, and you can get it straight from the horse's mouth about what we do. So in closing, you got anything hot that you want to drop?
Nothing super hot. Just don't let this opportunity pass you by.
Absolutely. It is $19.95 to get started, which is a tax-deductible expense. 30 days after, you pay $39.95 to get the complete system, except for the travel membership. It is an upgrade, but you can upgrade at any time for $49.95 to get everything that we have to offer. So we definitely want to encourage you guys to come on in, become a business partner with us, learn the system so you can start building your own wealth. And Melissa, I appreciate you for coming on. Hey, I did my time. This week will be on your channel on Tuesday.
I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you because you ain't did your time in about 6 months to a year.
Right. My system been down.
You're right. But yeah, appreciate you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Go around.
Go around. We'll see you guys later.
All right.